Hello, good afternoon. WonderScience speaking again. It's me, Filipa, and we have a special guest today. It's Mariana Silva. She's a biochemistry from Faculdade de Ciências da Universidade de Lisboa. And I met her when I was at the Instituto Gulbenkian Ciência. She was doing her PhD. And you can tell us about the rest and where did you went abroad. We had loads of fun because we did a lot of outreach activities together, and so it was really good fun. So you can tell more about your life after the PhD and where did you go and all that stuff.
Thank you, Filipa. Yes, we indeed had a lot of fun at our times at IGC. That's why I'm back now. But yeah, I will get there. So yes, I did. I took a biochemistry degree at Universidade de Lisboa, at the Faculdade de Ciências da Universidade de Lisboa. Then I did, because I was not sure which field of research I would like to work on during my PhD. I worked for a year at IGC just as a fellow. And then I joined the PhD program and I studied epigenetics and how epigenetic marks are propagated across the cell cycle.
That's very cool. Yeah, I was like, when I think about epigenetics, I was always, people talking as Mariana. I was always thinking about this.
It was a bit more cell cycle than epigenetics, but still, it touched a bit on epigenetics. And I had a lot of fun during my PhD. I think it went really well. I learned a lot. And IGC is a great place to be born as a scientist, I would say.
Right.
Then when I finished my PhD, I went to Vienna Biocenter, to Institute of Molecular Pathology. I continued a bit on cell cycle, but I switched the gears from mitosis to meiosis. And my main goal during my PhD, well, in very broad terms, was trying to understand why older women have more problems getting pregnant and why they have higher chances of having babies with trisomies and other birth defects.
Oh, cool. Did you bring any object of what you, because you right now you have come back to Portugal, you are in Portugal, you have a beautiful family. and how is it to come again to Portugal? It was hard, the adaptation, or what did you feel like?
Because it was hard for some things. Mm-hmm. But I think it's always easier when you move back home. How do I? It's difficult to move countries, but I think it's easy. It's a bit easier when you move back home because many things are still the same. So for me, it was very good to come back, and my office is actually at IGC, even though I don't work only for IGC, and it's great to come back and see many familiar faces like you. So it makes everything much easier because you have already, or at least I had already a network here. And when you move to another country, I think it's more difficult because you don't have a network. You don't have a social network or a professional network or a very big network. So I think. But of course, things work differently here than in Vienna. So many things I also miss from Vienna, like public transports. I don't know, like many things. I think I lived there for 7 years, so you really.
Oh, time flies.
I know, it really flies. So 7 years, it's a really long time, and you make a lot of friends. You get used to the city, you get used to the institute. yeah, so but it was great to come back. So
I
far,
think it's great to have an experience for our development as a scientist or a science communicator, to be abroad when you are 20s, 30s. It's great. After that, I think it's more difficult because you're already in a different age and you don't observe so much. But of course, you had hard times. What was your driving force at that moment? Or to write a paper or to write a thesis, and it's hard. And what do you think was your characteristic that gave you strength or that keep you going?
So everything in my life, I'm always I see myself a bit as a fighter, and when I start, everything for me is a challenge. And when I start something, I really have to finish. Like I wouldn't be able to start a project, for example, and not publish it. Like, for example, during my postdoc, it took me very, very long. It took me almost 7 years to get my results published. But I wouldn't feel.
You have a paper recently. I was checking, and you have
Yes.
2020. So maybe you're having more in the future, probably.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Let's see. So yeah, that's the problem of many science projects, right? They take very long, and only after a few years you get your reward, you get your paper, you get. But yeah, I think the main characteristic that made me finish all these things, it's that when I start a project, I really like to finish it. Like I like to have something that I can bring with me.
Another question.
Yeah.
So networking is fundamental, but you network and you ask and you go around and you make friends and old friends from college and stuff like that. But mentors, do you have mentors in your life, or people that say that, oh, I deserve this because he was by my side? People say sometimes it's friends or boyfriends, or it could be or something, mentors in your life, people that were a role model to you.
I do actually have, I do. It's great that you ask that, because I think it's fundamental for your professional life to have mentors. And I had them since very early on. Actually, since university. I still remember, I don't know if you know Miguel Coelho. Do you know him? And he was also at IGC with Helena Soares, and then he went to the US to do his PhD with Andrew Murray. So yeah, he's just an example, but he's one actually example. And Sophia Light, they are actually people that I use as role models since university. And then during my past, of course, I acquired much more, like my PhD advisor, Lars Janssen.
He was very funny. He's very Dutch, and always the time wearing orange things. Like
he's a great person, and he was a great supervisor. I learned so much from him, and he is actually one of my mentors that I have since I started my PhD until now. So I still call him every time I have to make a big decision, like when I actually decided to not continue with the research, but now switch gears a bit to science administration, science communication, science policy. So he was one of the first persons to know. Actually, I call him. I still need his approval and opinion a lot, actually. And I have many more that you actually know. Like Inês Crisóstomo, Marta, I don't know. And some of them don't really even know that they are my mentors, but they help me a lot. Like just by, I call them when I have doubts or when I feel that I'm not sure about some career step or some move. Like I always talk to people, and this is really, really important.
You know German. You learn German. It's really hard to know German to learn German, isn't it?
It is very hard. Well, I don't know enough to have, like, for example, a conversation about politics. I I can go to shopping and I can have small talk in German, but it's always very difficult when you work in an international institute because everybody speaks English, so you don't really have to make a big effort. So only when you go out or when you go to the restaurant or when you go shopping, when you go to the doctor. Yeah, my most proud moment in German was when I actually went to the doctor and spoke in German. This is
So now you are very busy because you have a baby, but we used to go out. We were party girls.
yes.
We had lots of fun. It was really nice when we were at the Instituto Gulbenkian Ciencia. But do you have hobbies? Do you like to dance or read or movies or?
I do have many hobbies. My main, well, now that I am a mom, now my main hobby is actually playing with my kids. But I used to have many hobbies. So one of them that actually helped me a lot both during my PhD and postdoc was running. I used to run a lot, like at the end of the day, and it's really nice because you have your moment to actually empty your head. So it's actually great. I really recommend. And also during my postdoc, a bit probably because I was not in my home country, I had like many friends, but I still missed something. And especially because my project was I worked with mice and aging mice, so it always took a lot of time to get results and to know whether things will go somewhere or not. So for me this was very difficult because I didn't have immediate reward of things, so I had to find hobbies that would give me immediate reward, like for example yeah,
Outreach.
Outreach, like I started organizing many activities within science, like outreach, like
You have a lot
helping
of
people
pride.
with their.
You have a lot of prizes and honors. I was seeing in your profile in LinkedIn and
In LinkedIn, yeah. Well, some, I wouldn't say a lot, but some.
um, so and now tell us about a little bit. You are coordinating Colife. What is this project? And of course, I want to ask you what you were doing, or what happened, what you were doing when you suddenly understand this would be a global crisis all around the world, this pandemic, this virus. What you were doing at that moment, and you realize this is going to be hard.
Personally or work-wise or both? Like
Both.
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 So Colife is it's an alliance of 6 research institutes in the Lisbon and Oeiras area, and basically was born before I actually moved to Portugal. Was born in 2019, in April. So they made this big meeting at the Gulbenkian Foundation with actually at the moment we're only the five institutes: IGC, ITKB, IMM, CEDOC, and Champalimaud. And they had this meeting basically to try to find synergies and to try to find how through collaboration they can make each institute stronger. So this is basically the idea of this alliance. It's basic because all these institutes are very unique and they have their own, yeah, their very unique strengths. So which makes this Lisbon and Oeiras area a great place for people to come and do research because it's so diverse. You have so many different institutes with great people working, with great facilities. Also, one of the things we want to do more in the future, it's actually to do that, to make a better use or our resources by sharing, basically sharing.
You believe, because a lot of people oh no, I believe we should not share information, or you believe that sharing information, it's a way, I believe on that, it's a way of learning more. And
I think it is, and we actually, this pandemic basically showed that. So it was a great way of seeing that by sharing information and by working together, we actually can speed up research so much. Like this was crucial, basically, in a crisis like this. This was crucial that you share information with each other, you actually work together. We have that example worldwide, but we also have that example here, like within the Colife institutes, that we actually did a lot of things together. We did a communication campaign, like to try to get to everyone like what was going on in the world in terms of research related to the virus. People have been working together also to develop diagnostic tests, serologic tests. So this has been crucial, basically, to work together and join forces to actually help fighting this pandemic. And I do believe that in all fields of science and in research, it's crucial to share information and to actually work together. So I really believe in this project.
So I ask you, I don't know if I can, you can ask me for collaborations. I'm available to work at WonderScience. You know my project. I do, it's a scientific, now very digital and educational project. So I'm available to work, to participate. Now I have I don't have a lot of free time because I'm doing these interviews and I think people, I interviewed Sofia Tavares, and I think,
yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
It was really cool.
She is one of the faces of IGC that I came back after 7 years, and she was there, and it's great.
Yeah, she's amazing, and so I will be glad to help out with Colife, or I'm doing, I don't know exactly what you need, but we could be in touch and changing information. Sure. And because I interview a lot of all my network is in UK mainly, mm-hmm. So I will be able to help in this way. So, and to finish out, can you share with us a funny story? You must have a lot, but a funny story of Vienna. I don't know. I was looking to your pictures and they look amazing in Vienna. Like,
yeah, it was great times actually I had in Vienna, and actually I spend a lot of time now that I was remembering our nights in at Teatro da Comuna. You remember Fatima also, right? And Fatima was also in Vienna, so this time that we spent together, like it was, I don't know, almost 5 to 6 years together in Vienna. This was great. Like it was great fun. We met a lot of people together. We had dinners all the time, go for beers all the time. It was really cool. It was really cool. And a funny story, I don't know. I have actually a funny story at work. So I'm just now going to touch here a bit on cultural differences, and this is actually a challenge when you move to a different country. It's actually well, it's very difficult because you are not you don't know how people work, how the mindset is there. So in the beginning it was really funny because I was spending a lot of time like just on the entry to the institute, because as a Portuguese you always talk to people. I don't know, I think we are very talkative and friendly. Of course, it depends on the people. And you always ask how people are, right? And this is not something people would do necessarily. Well, of course they do sometimes in Vienna, but it's not very common. So it happened to me many times that you spend 1 hour actually trying to listening to people telling you, oh, it's horrible. My weekend was really horrible. I hurt my feet and I was playing this and this and I hurt my feet.
Yeah, you just wanted to say, hello, how are you? And they explain. No.
Exactly. This happened to me very, very often. Also on the streets, because I don't know, when you show that you are a listener, people actually do talk to you and do take advantage of that, and they take it very seriously when you ask how are you. They will answer.
Right. So now the time is finishing. I would like to thank you very, very much, Mariana. I hope we stay in touch and talk about more, try to solve this problem about COVID and how things are moving. It's going to be hard times, but we are fighters.
Yes.
Yeah, and so thank you very, very much. And
thank you, Filipa.
Okay, and I had a very, very nice time with you, and I hope to see you soon in
Yes.
person and to hug you and to kiss you. I hope very soon, and let's fight. And a message that I want to pass to: wear mask, wear
disinfect your hands. Yeah.
Yeah, where all these all these measures, because they are fundamental. We know a lot about virus, but still we don't have the proper vaccine yet. So scientists are working really hard on this. So this is not a probe. This is not. So this is serious and
very serious.
People have to take measures and be safe and keep it safe. So thank you, Mariana. Bye bye.
Thank you, Filipa. Bye bye.